A ver. A ver, ahora. Si se escucha bien este pedo. Oh, Elmore, te iba a decir, no te quería decir
Okay.
cuando estabas hablando de eso. ¿Puedes darme más otro, como que te... Hey, ahí estás.
Ahí. Ok.
Ya, porfa. Es que te juntaste mucho a la cámara.
Sí, me hice para
Sí.
adelante.
Ahí estás bien.
Ok.
Ok, listo. Ahí vamos, chavos. Stand by. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the ETO Podcast. Joe Rodriguez here with Elmuer Souza and with El Super Mojado. Fellas, we have lots of things to talk about today, starting with probably one of the things that concerns fans the most. Elmur, you told me earlier today that apparently El Tata Martino is thinking of potentially getting more games out for the Mexican national team in
Yep.
European soils, right, or something like that. So why don't you fill me in on what you heard, what you're hearing, and your thoughts overall?
What I hear is Tata Martino is requesting, nor petition. Requesting is completely different. Mexico will have two friendly games in October in Europe,
Okay.
but in FIFA Day. But besides that, two games, he requests two more games in November to try to take advantage in having more games in Europe, having the opportunity to bring the players in one neutral place, start training, and also in the commercial side, try to cumplir un poco con los sponsors y brindarles 4 juegos al menos en el año. Because remember, for contract between national Mexican team and Zoom, they will have to play at least 5 games per year in United States. But because everybody knows about the pandemic situation, everything was canceled. That's why Mexico tried to pursue at least 4 games, 4 friendly games in Europe against who knows? Because in October they say Holland is the first opponent, and the second opponent, Holland is confirmed,
Okay.
and the second opponent will be New Zealand, for what I know, for what I hear. In November, nobody knows about the rivals, but Tata Martino insists that he's wanna try to get two more games in November in Europe. Good or bad? In my opinion, this is good because that's what Mexican national team needs. Try to pursue games for more quality, and the quality they will get is going to be in Europe, not in United States. In United States, they will get money, money, and money, and less quality.
Super.
Well, g- good and bad, right? I mean, because you go to Europe and you're gonna continue to play partidos moleros. New Zealand, come on, man. That's all you can. That's the best you can do.
Yeah, but
The
remember,
first
the
game,
thing is,
Holland, yes.
yeah, but remember this. It's really complicated right now. Try to arrange friendly matches because the Nations League.
Yeah.
That that's
Okay.
that, that's the thing. It's really complicated for European teams, for South American teams, not for CONCACAF teams. But for these two confederation, it's really complicated. Try to get friendly games outside fecha FIFA. That's why Mexico has a lot of trouble to try to arrange games.
Right.
I know
Well,
New Zealand is not the best, but right now is that's the only that you can get because that's that trouble.
All right. Well, I think that it's good that they are gonna try to get more games in Europe, because this is the time, this is the opportunity. You have no fans in the US, so it defeats the purpose of going coming to US, because we all know that they don't come here to advance futbolisticamente. They come here to advance in their pockets.
Right.
So
Yes.
now there's nothing to get over here. So obviously they're gonna have to try the different horizontes ahí in Europa. I think that's great if they manage to get more games with respectful teams. I think that would be great for la selección.
I agree with both of you. I think that just goes such a long way. Being able to get just better quality opponents. And look, Super, I know that you called New Zealand a partido bolero, but New Zealand's game has improved significantly. Are they Italy? Are they the Netherlands? Absolutely not, right? But I mean, it's better than I mean, and no offense to all of my Caribbean and Central American friends, but I would rather play New Zealand, have El Tri play New Zealand than you know Trinidad and Tobago or
But
Kirk and Caicos or whatever. You know what I mean?
it's the same, Joe. I mean, New Zealand is not ni siquiera es europeo, no? I mean, come on.
A ver, Super. What is the confederation for New Zealand for a start?
Por estoy diciendo.
No
No,
sabe.
That's why I'm telling you.
No,
That's what I'm telling. Ni
I'm,
siquiera, mira,
I'm
you're
asking.
playing a team that siempre lo golean. Es un equipo chico. O sea, New Zealand is not a team that you're gonna, is gonna give you any more than Jamaica or.
Mexico is the same. Mexico is un equipo chico. Both are equipos chicos. Try to pursue bigger levels. That's it.
Tell them, Elmer. Un
That's
equipo
it.
chico. Que no venda humo.
Hey,
Ese super
Both
mojado
no,
es un vende
equipos
humo.
chicos.
but that's the thing. That's why you have to go and try to get teams that are top teams and like
But you
elite.
can't.
Try to
You
compete with
can't.
these teams to get more. You're gonna be the New Zealand playing with this team. So
I understand that they have to pursue the best teams, but right now, because all the arrangement from the Nations League is really complicated. Try to get an agreement with another federations for getting a friendly match. That's a complicated thing about this. It's really complicated. That's why the Molero games under Zoom win in United States is more easier. Why? Because they get like I don't know, equipos de selecciones de menor rango en Europa que no son fecha FIFA y que van con juveniles. ¿Para qué? Para que México llene el estadio
New
en Estados
Zealand.
Unidos.
So it's not gonna change. They bring New Zealand over here, and they're gonna go over there and they're gonna play New Zealand.
No, ¿sabes que New Zealand, more than the 75% of his players play in Europe? No warming the bench like
Okay.
Mexico.
Tell them, Elmer, tell them. Oye, saludos quiero mandar unos saluditos a varias personas. Saludos a Cruz, dice que se va Messi del Barça. ¿Qué pensamos? Leo Hernández
Sí.
dice, New Zealand is a powerhouse. El Coronel, también saludos al Coronel. Y Coronel, ¿dónde está? Espérame.
Siguen llorando los de Barça.
Le
Come
quiero
on,
mandar
guys.
saludos al Coronel
La
porque
novela.
nos mandó una bufanda aquí. He sent us a little bufanda.
Muy bien, muy
Courtesy
bien.
of the Pancho Villa crew, Pancho Villa's Army. So, saludos al Coronel allá en Phoenix, Arizona. El coronel, fíjate, dice, oh, at this point I'll take a partido molero and good point to Super Mojado. Ande, pues.
Pero ¿por qué? Porque el Super Mojado, cada vez que los Pancho Villas Army se reúnen, pues se hace fiesta con ellos, ya lo conocemos. Ya lo conocemos. Exactamente.
Leo dice that if Mexico couldn't win, couldn't with Jamaica last time, then Mexico shouldn't have a chance to play a top team. And that's what I talk about,
true.
right?
That's true.
Right. So Roman Conway dice, no mames, Rey Misterio, soy tu ídolo, te sigo desde que empezaste con el crico. Por eso ya dice, cámbiate la máscara.
Soy el Rey Misterio Junior.
Anyway, so Elmer, let's go ahead and look. At this point, it would be great if Mexico could get these tough opponents, but the reality is that, like you said, the contracts with Zoom just make it so difficult because when the games are played right here in the United States, they're always going to be in fecha FIFAs. And in fecha FIFAs, all the European teams, where are they playing? They're playing in a tournament, they're playing in qualifiers, they're playing in something. And let's be honest, man. I think most of them don't even want to play Mexico. They don't want to take that long-ass trip to come over here to the U.S., especially like, playing in the West Coast or in the Southwest, because it's a long flight, regardless of how much money it makes, right?
Joe, that point is that point is the best. A lot of your European team doesn't want to make the long trip to the West Coast. Right. They prefer, if they want, East Coast. And Mexico doesn't want to play a lot on the East Coast. So that's a confrontation situation on that. Porque México no recibe lo mismo en cuanto a apoyo jugando en Miami, en, no sé, en Nashville, claro, en Nueva York, right, que lo que recibe en California, en Arizona. Esa es la realidad, inclusive Texas.
Right. No, you're right. You're right. But anyway, the point is that I think it's good that Tata Martino's requesting and asking for better opponents. So, Super Mojado, let me ask you something, dude. If it was up to you, who would be like the next? Like, we already supposedly know, right, that it's going to be Holland, et cetera, et cetera. But if it was up to you, who would be the top three opponents or the three opponents that Mexico would play? If it was up to you, you're the one that que les suelta el dinero.
Pues obvio, güey, que va a ser Germany, España e Italia. A los tres.
Estás soñando,
no,
Elmer.
No quiero nada, güey. No quiero nada.
I'm not agreeing.
Who would you pick, Elmer?
Right now?
Yeah.
France?
Up to you.
France?
Okay.
Yeah, France, England, and Portugal.
Okay. Yeah, those are good ones. I like those. I mean, look, both of those, even the ones that Super Mojado claim. I mean, obviously, any European powerhouses, would be good opponents.
But remember, Joe, remember this: the sponsor from the Mexican national team,
yeah,
will be a key player to try to get an arrangement on that kind of situations. Who's the sponsor from Mexico? The Adidas.
Yeah.
So what is the best
Adidas
national teams in Europe? Germany.
Yeah, Germany.
Adidas.
Who sponsors France? Nike.
Nike.
Adidas.
Yeah.
Is it Adidas?
Adidas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nike.
I don't know.
No.
No?
I think it's Adidas.
Well, I don't care.
Entonces, ¿para qué lo traes a la luz, güey?
No, but I prefer Mexico play against France than Italy, in my point of view.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
I
take France. I'll change France.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
All right. So, anyway.
Wait, afleja la billetera, Elmer. All right? Let's vamos a hacer la cooperacha y nos vamos ahí a...
Look, Elmer, like, so... With COVID-19 and the stoppage and the change of calendars and everything else that's been happening, how do you think all of this is just going to impact? Because we already know, like, Mexico's going to be playing in the qualifiers, right? What do you know about, like, what it means to the calendar because of COVID-19?
It's going to be really tight. That's the thing, because all the leagues have to readapt on that time frame. And everybody has to play at least 3 times per week. That will be really complicated in Mexico and Europe and everybody, and for everybody. That will be really, really complicated. On the other side, can be a loss of wages, because this is going to be la diferencia. En México ya no va a cobrar lo mismo, en mi opinión, los partidos bajo Zoom en un nuevo contrato que lo que está cobrando ahorita, porque everybody has to low budgets. Think of that.
That makes sense.
I completely agree. I mean, the world is going to change, and everybody has to adapt to the monetary changes, because everybody's going to want to save as much as possible right now and not spend like crazy amounts of money.
Look this. Besides Messi, Cristiano, Neymar, Pogba, and Mbappe, everybody has to cut some expenses, and that's it.
Right. Hey,
Y Jimenez,
Who?
y Raúl Jiménez.
A ver, decían, Jimenez is going to be the new striker from Juventus. Juventus get Weston McKennie. Weston McKennie is a great player. He's a good midfielder. Weston McKennie is going to the Juventus. And what's going to happen to Raúl Jiménez? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. On this weekend is going to be the Community Shield game between Arsenal and Liverpool. They will have until late September to try to get new players in the whole Premier League. But for what I know, my understanding is Jimenez will stay in Wolverhampton. Nobody put the money. Mucha gente dijo, tiene ofertas de aquí y de aquí. Nothing is true. Es el mismo caso que en su momento de Guillermo Ochoa, que lo ponían en los mejores equipos y no hubo nada. Que es humo, humo y más humo.
Entonces, los Wolves se quedan como el perro de las dos tortas.
Pues más bien sería como el lobo de las dos tortas.
El lobo de las dos tortas. Es que también, I don't know, they really think that someone's going to pay 100 million euros for Raúl Jiménez.
Why not? But the thing is, nobody right now has a real offer on that. Nobody.
Right.
And from what I hear, it's a lot of potential teams. They got really disappointed about the way Jimenez take the penalty kick.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And another thing that is gonna hurt Jimenez is that right now every team in the world are counting their change to try to get Messi.
Yeah, that's true.
So can Jimenez? No. We're focusing on Messi right now.
Right. No, that's true. Everybody is trying to are hoping to do that. Dice el coronel, al Memo ya le dicen la tanga porque no tapa nada.
Shoot.
Estuvo buena. Anyway, all right, guys. So moving on, Liga MX this weekend. It's funny how time flies. We're already in, through 6 rounds. It's the 7th round this weekend. It kicks off tomorrow. And Elmer, I wanted to talk to you really quick about Las Águilas del América. And the reason why I wanted to talk to you about them is because there's a lot of concern from some fans, right? And Super Mojado and I talked about this the other day, about if we were América fans, how we would be concerned because of the goleadas that they've had in the back-to-back games. First of all, did you know that Las Águilas del América have not lost back-to-back games since February 2019? Did you know that?
Yeah.
So,
pero yo creo que no tienen que estar preocupados.
No?
This is not a concern because in Mexican, the new system on the Liga MX, they will advantage to the playoff 12 of 18 teams. So what's the worry about that? América, even Chivas, Cruz Azul will be on the playoff. So ¿por qué se preocupan? No pasa nada.
Y no hay descenso.
Exactly.
Right? So there's nothing to be worried about. You can cruise, all the way through and, just accelerate towards the end and then you're good.
So nothing to worry about. No, all right. So ya ves, Super, entonces el Leo Hernández, ya, he has nothing to worry about. Yeah, he can stop sweating.
Dile a Leo que ya puede salir de las alcantarillas. That's okay. He don't have to hide anymore. It's all good.
Joe, besides, right now, the first team, in the first place is Cruz Azul, 13 points.
Yeah.
Toluca, second place, 12 points.
Right.
León, third place, 11 points. And fourth place, América, Pumas, and Pachuca with 10. So what is worry about that?
Right.
And
right now, even Chivas is in the playoff.
And Chivas could have been in third place if they would have defeated Toluca.
Yeah.
Hablando de Chivas,
Oh,
Elmer, did you get a chance to see that goal que le anularon a Chivas last week against Toluca? What did you think about that?
Uh, I don't know. The thing is with the VAR camera distribution, you don't get the exactly replay to try to get the best judgment.
Yeah.
That's my criticize about the VAR in Mexico because every single stadium in Mexico has different position for the cameras.
It's not
Not
consistent.
yeah, that's why you didn't get the opportunity to get the best replays in MLS and Bundesliga in Germany. You have a protocol to install the cameras, and
Yes.
you know better than anyone, Joe, in the same spot in every single
Right.
stadium. In Mexico, you don't have that. That's why the VAR has a lot of troubles. Besides the level of the referees, that's besides that.
Right.
pero ¿cómo dudas de la Liga MX así? ¿Cómo cuestionas a la Liga MX así? Si son impecables, Elmore. You're insulting la Liga MX. ¿Cómo te atreves a decir eso?
For what I
Oh,
know,
man.
trust me, I completely honest.
Hey,
No tengo la verdad absoluta como nadie, pero
All right.
sabemos que el VAR se maneja diferente.
Pero
claro,
que
no.
no te dé miedo, Elmore. It was not offside.
I don't think
It
so
was
either.
a legitimate goal
I think so
that
too.
they le anularon a las Chivas. Come on.
Habla sin la playera y no hay una
Sí,
buena repetición.
Oh,
all right.
I actually have to take super side. I think that it was super tight, pero ¿sabes qué? This is what I think about all the time, Elmur.
A
I
ver,
think about, let's assume that there was no VAR. That goal, it stands maybe 9 out of 10 times, you know. But that's why,
9 to 10.
in my opinion, I think
Okay.
9 out of 10 times, I think that goal stands. Porque estaba la jugada muy apretadita, you know what I mean? It was really tight. And I
Yeah.
think most of the time, los abanderados, they give the goal the benefit of the doubt. But what really pissed me off es que ni siquiera le dieron la oportunidad al ref to go and check it out. That's where I have a problem, right? Because
No,
if
but
you're gonna, huh?
isn't his decision? I think the referee
No,
is the one that didn't want to go see it.
no,
Exactly.
but
No, yeah.
but
yeah.
don't they? Isn't it up to the guys to tell them no fue gol and that was it?
But at the end, the main decision comes to the referee.
Right.
At the
So
end.
Yes.
so
If he wanted to go and check it out, he would have.
I get it.
Yeah.
That's my point. The point is that he didn't even do that. You know. So
Because he's really
Porque
secure about his decision.
y porque le sudó también. Come on, let's just.
Bueno, estaba en el infierno, ni modo que no.
Es por eso.
Right. But anyway, my point is that's why I was upset because they didn't even have the referee did not even bother to go and check out the replay. Had he looked at the replay, I have a feeling that he would have made that the reverse call. But anyway, that's beside the point. All right, now the other thing to talk about Chivas is the fact that the players are all over the place. A ver, ¿quiénes son los últimos castigados? What's the vibe like? What have you heard, Elmer, about todo el desmadre que está pasando en Chivas?
Pero ¿por qué hacen tanto lío de lo que pasa con los jugadores de Chivas? I don't care what Chivas players do. I don't care. And really,
Nada
I
más
don't
tú,
care.
super. Nada
The
más
o-
tú.
no,
Se me hace
they
que
can
lo
do
invitaron a la
anything.
fiesta. We didn't get all
The
the footage
players.
from the party. I think that Elmer was at the party.
Here
That's
it
why he doesn't care.
is. In my opinion, the players has all the free will to do anything they wanted. The thing is, the players, they feel like YouTubers, they feel like influencers, and everything they do, they wanted to do, they want to expose it on the social media.
Yeah.
The thing is, everything goes to the social media. That's why this is really big. That's why this is one of the talks with the Pulpo Zúñiga. Hey, on that time, 20 years ago, on that Super Chivas, they don't even see the cell phones.
Yeah.
So this is happening all the time, but nobody knows.
Right.
Es
And
que
now,
está bien
the
por
social media is the is the like
Kryptonita.
tribune of that.
No, and you know what? I myself I think that yeah, they can do whatever they want, but don't be stupid, okay?
Right.
Don't gather the proofs and then just don't turn yourself in like that. It's like
That's the thing.
te estás matando tú mismo,
Yeah.
all right?
Right. Right.
And está bien que los castigaron por pendejos. Excuse my words over here. Que, porque la están cajeteando gacho, dude. Don't why are you gonna expose yourself like that if you know that you're doing wrong? It would be different if you're in first place and you're playing like never before, la estás rompiendo, all right, but now,
Keep
dude,
it
you're in a
private.
bad spot.
Right.
Keep it
Yes,
private.
keep it,
Yo,
just try to keep a low profile and until you're in a good position, because then
remember,
the criticism is gonna be lower.
yeah, remember this, Joe, super. In MLS, every time there is going to be a new season, it's like a seminar for all the players about the manage of the social media.
Right.
At the beginning of that, and you remember that, Joe, a lot of media say, "Why? They don't need that." Yeah, they need that, and
Absolutely.
that's why in MLS you don't see this. In Mexico, the the Mexican Federation doesn't want to allow that kind of seminars because they say the players don't need that.
Right.
No? So
No.
who has the rights?
No, you're absolutely right. And here's the other thing that this is the way that I feel about players, and why whenever people talk about role models, when it comes to especially athletes, I have never ever thought that they should be anyone's role model. And here's why. The reality is that these guys are just kids, man, for the most part. They're young men. They're inexperienced with life. When you're 21, 22, 25, even 30 years old, all you want to do is go out, have a good time, and you want to share it with the world.
Unless that you work on TV like us and you don't have a life.
Exactly. Exactly. But the problem is that they just don't have that experience with life to make these rational decisions, and a lot of them, all they care about is the limelight. But life experiences is what ultimately makes them, just better citizens, better people. They're not thinking about none of those things. They're thinking about like, man, I just want to go in el desmadre. I want to have like a good time without thinking about the consequences. And unfortunately, that's not just, specifically only to athletes, but anybody who's young for the most part makes these type of mistakes. The biggest difference though is that these guys are in the public eye. And again, if you're young and you're not thinking about these things, it's always going to be a problem. So how the hell can you be a role model when you as a person aren't even mature enough to be able to make the right decision? So that's what it boils down to, in my opinion.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
But Joe,
Yeah.
I don't think they're the people is the ones that make them the role models. If people didn't idolize them, it would be different.
Yeah,
They
they
would just,
idolize their
it
skills.
would be
Super.
like
They
going back to
they
like what
idolize.
Elmer was saying, that before we had cell phones, players just live their lives, and it didn't matter.
Right.
Yeah, they got some like they got fans and stuff like that, the stadiums and all of that, but they didn't have followers.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But what I'm saying is
That the
that
followers are the people that make these guys like
I know, but
act like
what I'm
this and try to
saying-
like
what I'm saying is that they idolize their athletic ability. At the end of the day, they are not idolizing them as people, and that's the biggest difference, right? Nobody's looking at like, oh yeah, es un ejemplo para la ciudad, para la comunidad, or nothing like that.
But-
They're idolizing think about this. If LeBron James wasn't as good as he is, do you think people would even care?
No.
Exactly.
No.
But Joe, but that's the thing, and that's why Chivas. I respect what Chivas did, because that's the thing, that you say that people don't care, but when kids see this, their players, the guys that they're like basically like idolizing, doing this type of things, like drinking and partying like that. And what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna follow.
A
And
ver,
then son figuras públicas. And por eso, like I said, I agree con los castigos. And
¿cuáles castigos?
because, pues, que no los castigaron monetariamente.
¿Tú crees, ¿Tú crees que estos jugadores, castigarlos un partido y quitarles el 15-20% de sueldo, es un castigo? No,
no,
para nada. Un castigo, ¿sabes cuál es? Darlos de baja del equipo.
Exactly.
Ese es un verdadero castigo
Exactly.
para que entiendan y no lo vuelvan a repetir.
To make them an
Quitar
example.
el 10, el 15% a un jugador que gana tanto dinero, es más, hasta no les pasa nada, hasta se burlan. Te lo digo porque me ha tocado verlo.
Entonces, los rumores de que they took 50% of their salary from here till the end of the season, that's not true, Elmer. Have you heard anything about that?
Pero 15% de su salario.
No, 50, el 50%.
Even, I don't know if it was 50, but even that is too low. Un verdadero castigo, un verdadero ejemplo es fuera.
Yeah.
Porque que no es la primera vez, es reincidente.
Yeah.
Es again and again and again. Y esto, it will happen again.
Okay, Elmer, I know that you got to get going, man, but really quick, to your point, I think that's very true what you said. If they make an example of players by doing something like that, that would be a very, very bold move. And I think that the problem is that the teams just don't have the cojones to be able to make that type of move. You know?
What happened in MLS with Katai and LA Galaxy about the racist message?
Yeah.
Not from him, from his wife.
Right.
And what was the message?
Yeah, he held
El Galaxy lo sacó.
Yeah.
Entonces, eso es una decisión que se mantiene.
Yeah. Okay, but also, like, you know, I don't know that he would be. What if it was like one of their best players? Do you think they would take the same approach?
They have to.
Yeah. Now they have to. Yeah, if Chicharito did it, they would have to, right?
Guys, I have to go.
All right. Elmuer Souza, thank you very much, man. Super, you and I will be right back, okay?
All right.
All right, guys, welcome back to the ETO podcast. Super Mojado and Joe Rodriguez here. All right, so Elmer had to go and it was a good conversation, man. I wish we would have had him till the end. But anyway, look, Super, I think that Elmer did make a good point, man. You know, you have to.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. But at the end of the day, acuérdate que es un negocio. This is a business. And they have a lot to lose. Las Chivas, they invested a lot of money in these two players, and they weren't gonna do that. They were not gonna let them go. But even with this one game suspension, I think that they are saying it doesn't matter who you are, we're gonna suspend you, and if you do it again, they might just end up firing them. I think that Chivas could do that, you know. So, I mean, do we want it to get to that point? No, but hopefully they learn and their teammates learn from this also. And, it's hopefully they just, like I said, they just got to learn from their mistakes.
At the end of the day, they do, Super Mojado. All right, really quick, before we start wrapping things up here, let's talk about the upcoming round. So if we look at the upcoming games, in my opinion, every time I see Chivas playing, I told you, these are the three teams that I always talk about. Toluca, Santos, Pachuca. Those are the teams that I always hate when Chivas plays. What are you thinking that's going to be like?
What about Pumas? What about America? What about Cruz Azul?
No, dude. Like, they can beat those teams all the time on any given time, dude. Look, I'm going to work on the statistic. And I'm gonna show you just what I'm talking about, man. Nada más porque no he contratado un researcher or we haven't had
I
time.
I agree with Toluca and Santos.
And
Pachuca,
Pachuca
I
too,
don't know,
dude.
man. I
Okay.
don't know about Pachuca.
All right.
I think
I'm gonna show
it's just
you.
uno más del montón.
I'm gonna ask Leo to see if he can build me a really nice graphic, and that way he can actually do it nice. It looks pretty, and it's gonna be like the little breakdown. Anyway, this
The
weekend is
the
Pachuca. So and then the biggest part about that game is that they're gonna potentially play against El Pocho, right?
Es el partido del Morbo with El Pocho Guzman. Let's see how he's probably gonna want to play. Put an extra effort for this game because he still has. He's hurt. His feelings were hurt when Chivas, no lo respaldó. I don't know, but they were just following, I think, protocol because he. I'm gonna take like the team's stand here. We didn't know how this thing was gonna play out. Fortunately for the player,
Mm-hmm.
it ended up being shorter. The time ended up being shorter. Pachuca managed to convince FIFA to do his suspensions from the time that he took the test,
Yeah.
and that's why he was clear now. And I think that like I said, it was a very difficult situation. At the end of the day, yeah, he made a mistake because he came positive for something. Something happened there,
Right.
and we all make mistakes, and unfortunately, if you go to buy something and it's defective, what are you gonna do, Joe? You're
Yeah.
gonna return it,
Of
right? I
course. Yeah.
mean, that's what everybody will do. If
Yeah.
you get a computer that is a supercomputer, but it comes to you and it fails like the first week, what are you gonna do? You gotta go back to the store and say, "Listen, this is not working right."
Right.
And that's what happened with this guy. And yeah, unfortunately, his feelings were hurt, but what are we gonna do?
Right. Right. You really can't do much, Super Mojado. At the end of the day, it is what it is, you know? All right, so looking at the other games, Super, from this weekend, well, tomorrow, as I mentioned, that Liga MX kicks off Puebla versus Toluca, and then you got Mazatlan versus Tigres. Tigres, again, they've been doing pretty good, man. Do you think they get a win at El Kraken?
Yeah, I definitely think that Tigres can take this one. They Mazatlan though they've been playing decent games and they've been han dado batalla, han dado batalla a los equipos con los que han jugado. So I think that it could turn out to be a good game, and but I do see Tigres llevándose los 3 puntos.
We mentioned already Chivas taking on Pachuca, and then America is against San Luis. The game is going to be in San Luis. Does America snap their little two-game losing streak?
Es possible. It's possible. I think that San Luis ha empezado flojo. They're in 15th place right now. They've only won one game and they lost three. So I think that it could end up being a comeback for America.
All right. And el super líder, Cruz Azul versus Necaxa. I have them as an easy W. What do you think?
Well, it's gonna be in El Azteca, no?
Yeah.
So
And,
yeah,
and
I think
Necaxa
that they're
has
gonna
only,
take this one too.
actually, both of these teams have only lost once in their last 5 games. So maybe.
No, no, Necaxa has 2 losses this tournament.
No,
They
no. I
they're
said
two and two.
one's.
Yes,
Is there?
yeah,
Hold on.
they're two and two.
Hold on. I'm getting mixed, conflicting information, Super Mojado. So either you are wrong or somebody's wrong. Mira, last game they beat Santos, then they tied against Necaxa, then they beat Mazatlan, then they tied against America, and then they lost to Necaxa. So yeah, so the last 5 games, and the last 5 games they've only lost one. So after losing the first 2 games of the season, they lost against Tigres in the first game, and then they lost to Juarez in the second game. But in the last 5 games, that's why I said actually the last 4 games they have not lost. That's basically what I was trying to say.
The last four. Okay, I thought you were for the tournament though. They do have 2 losses.
Right. Anyway, so yeah, but either way, Cruz Azul, I think, there's no arguing, right? Best team in Liga MX right now. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, for sure. I think that Cruz Azul has managed to be steady. Besides ese tropezón que tuvieron ahí, they are playing some good football, man.
Right.
And they could definitely take this one too.
Right, and then on Sunday, you got Pumas versus Cholos, Santos, Querétaro, Monterrey contra Juárez. What game do you like the most right there?
Oof, I think that I want to say Santos Querétaro.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be a good game to see.
Yeah, Querétaro has surprised a lot of teams this season. They had that big win over Las Águilas 4-0, and then they also defeated Cruz Azul as well.
Yep.
So two other wins have been pretty good. So we'll see how they end up doing against Santos Laguna. And then to close out the round on Monday Night Football, León versus Atlas. Who do you like there?
Well,
and this
León.
This is a
León.
León, by
I
the
think
way.
that they're coming back. They're in third place, and Atlas they won their last game, I believe. But I think that I don't know. I don't think they're gonna be a match for La Fiera.
Yeah, especially like I said in Guanajuato, it's probably really difficult for Atlas to pick up that W. Leona are in third place, also as Elmer mentioned earlier, and I consider them to be also one of the favorites and one of the teams to beat. It's really, they've been holding their ground pretty good. All right, so one thing I wanted to ask you before we start wrapping up the show, Super, is I want you to give me your opinion on through 6 rounds. Who do you think the best player in Liga MX is in this season? Not overall, just this season.
Well, I have to go with the one and only, man. I think that Guignac, el francés que vino a revolucionar el fútbol mexicano, and
Le van a hacer una estatua.
is breaking record after record, and he has 6 goals now. He's on the lead for the top scorers in Liga MX, and how many? I think he's been very consistent. He's always been up there and anotando, and I think that he is el jugador de la liga.
Yeah. All right, Super Mojado. Well, I think that's not a bad choice, in my opinion. I gotta give it to Cabecita Rodriguez. Cabecita's been doing a really, really good job for Cruz Azul. Obviously, it helps that collectively, I think that team is the strongest. But Cabecita has been also just tearing things up. I think he's second in scoring as well.
Yes, he has 5 along with Alexis Canelo de Toluca and Juan Ignacio Dineno de Pumas.
Right.
So, but es el mejor mexicano, ¿no? Excepto, I don't know if Juan is mexicano, but I think that el mejor mexicano is Cabecita right now.
Wait a minute. Wait, you mean Cabecita, like the best Mexican player?
Yes.
No, Cabecita's not from Mexico, dude. What are you eating? Isn't Cabecita from Paraguay?
Cabecita Rodriguez is mexicano, güey.
No.
Are you freaking kidding me?
I'm not kidding.
Ah, man, he's mexicano, güey.
Dude, we're gonna look like a pair of yacos right now. Either me.
Are you serious?
Either me or you. Yeah, Jonathan El Cabecita Rodriguez.
Yeah.
He's from Uruguay, dude.
Are you serious?
Super Mojado.
I always thought he was Mexican.
You just lost your credibility. With that, I think we're going to end up signing off para que ya no nos corran, dude. So, on behalf of everybody, Elmuer Souza and El Super Mojado, who en vivo said that Cabecita Rodriguez is Mexican.
I'm gonna have to look into this one, bro. Uruguayan soccer player.
Oh, they're good, dude. Hay muchos paraguayos también en Liga MX. But anyway, he's a good player. That's the bottom line. All right, so until next time, hay nos vidrios. Cuídense. We'll be back on Monday. Thank you very much for tuning in. And adios.